Oh, hi, hello there. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
Are those your toes? Oh my God. This is DETV's Good Morning Wilmington with Nadj and Jea.
And I am Jay. I'm just doing my thing on my piano. What's happening? How you doing?
Were those your toes? Those
my
are
toes.
Oh no!
It's wonderful. Is there anything that, like, there are some drawbacks to this situation, which we'll discuss. But the fact that I am allowed to just sit here barefoot in my jammies is spectacular.
Well, I'm not in my jammies, but this is my at-home look. I'm home. I would do the dishes with this look. Or, sweep, do what housewives do. So.
Oh my. Well done. Well done.
All right, Jay. So do we want to tell the people why we're home?
Yes. And, the people can feel free to ask all the questions that they have. The bottom line, and I'll be pretty detailed about it without naming names, but a friend of mine, this is kind of funny in the irony of it, but a friend of mine came by last Sunday so that we could enjoy a bag of his expensive coffee. And he was at my house for about an hour. Mind you, this is someone who's kind of, within my little COVID bubble. So we had coffee in the morning for about an hour, and he left and we went about our day, so on and so forth. And then I got a call on Tuesday from him, and basically when he was going through his sort of routine COVID testing to make sure that he's safe, he discovered that he is, he tested positive for COVID. So he was asymptomatic then. He's still asymptomatic now, thank God, and isn't having any complications, but he does have COVID. And obviously the concern is, since he was here in my house for an extended amount of time without me or him either having a mask on, the concern is that I might have contracted COVID, and obviously we didn't want to put anyone at risk. So it has definitely turned things upside down for the time being, but I'm feeling fine. We're going to get tested, the whole family, on Friday, and everyone pray that we come back with negative results and we can kind of get back to normal as soon as possible. But again, I feel fine, and I should say, again, the person who was here, him and his family are doing perfectly fine right now. But all of those things that the doctors tell us, it's been almost a year of this, and I kind of let down my guard a little bit, literally and figuratively. And, even if we come back with negative test results, there are still consequences for making, bad judgment in this situation. It's rough, but our spirits are up, and, fortunately we have a lot of support, and we're okay, and I'm happy to see you guys either way.
I'm sure everyone feels the same about what I'm about to say, but we're all human, and we all have had our moments of, we want to see our friends, we want to see our families. So I always tell you this, but I'm gonna say it on camera so everybody else hear it. It's okay. You're not at fault for anything, and even though you let your guard down, it's okay. And we're here for you. If the test comes back positive, and if it's negative. So we love you. And I also wanted to be on Zoom because I'm not gonna let you steal my thunder at home. So that's
you got you got the fan camera, I just have my little iPhone that I'm using, and as usual and as it should be, you get all of the glory.
So who is on our show today?
Well, we have well, I'll let you say. Can you kind of say, because I don't want to mess anyone up. The main person that I'm excited about, honestly, from my end, is Darnell Miller. He is one of our, Wilmington treasures as a musician, and we're going to hear his new song. And what else, Nadj? You tell me.
So we have Officer Joshua Morris. He's going to be joining us today. He's from Delaware, and he's going to be interviewing with us. We also have a pageant queen, Malika Yates, who's going to be discussing all things pageantry with me today. I'm really excited because I was a pageant girl, held the title a few times. So,
I'm actually excited to kind of see you, to see that, because It's something I know nothing about. So I think it'll be interesting for everyone to learn a little bit about that and hear your perspective on it, because I think it's, you know, it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time in my life. So, okay, so let's jump into the inauguration. We got to discuss that. We got to discuss inauguration.
It's inauguration. It's definitely
inauguration. Well, either way, honey, it was fabulous. It was. Shout out to my pastor, Reverend Beeman, doctor, who was there and gave the benediction. That was really great to see. They had a new role. Do you remember the girl's name? The poet.
I'm going to mess that up, and I don't want to misspeak and say that wrong. So
the poet that they had was fabulous.
Yes.
The fashion. Okay, let's talk about the fashion.
Her name was Amanda Gorman.
Okay, Amanda Gorman. So she was awesome. They had Lady Gaga. They had, what was his name? The singer. Who was the other singer? The country singer.
Garth Brooks.
Yes, Garth Brooks. So that was interesting. I did my own little parody of the not parody, but my own little video of singing Amazing Grace, because he ain't sang it right.
Yeah, but like, okay, so they're like extremes. And I think that your video was really funny because it's actually a whole lesson in music. And I think we both understand, like, there's the melody, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have playroom. And depending on the song, there's a little more, a little less playroom. But, you know, there's something to be said about being able to sing a melody as is, but then sometimes you got to spice it up. But then some people take it too far and overspice it. So it was funny to see you show the opposite end of that, for sure.
Yes, I was like, this is how you supposed to sing, honey. So that was funny. So I have to comment on Michelle Obama.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Tell me what she had on.
She had on, like, I guess it would be like it looked like all the same suit. So like a 3-piece suit, I guess. I don't know. But it was like this purple color, this deep purple that was gorgeous, and this bomb belt buckle and like high-waisted, like flared out pants. Like, whoo, baby. She stopped the show. And her hair. She made me want to take these out. I want my bundles back. Like, she was like wind wear. Okay, cold wear. Like, she was fabulous. And her walk was regal. Like, excuse me, I'm coming in. Like, it was fabulous. And then President Obama, he's so slick. He's so slick. That man.
Did you see the fist bump between President Obama and Vice President Kamala?
No, I didn't. But I saw the point. I saw the point.
Yeah, but there was like a little moment where they did this, and it's just like I love to see that exchange, because it communicates something without words that, you know, a lot of people understand. It's just like we're here, and we did that there. You know what I mean?
It was. I have to say, I actually felt pride. I felt. I had like little butterflies.
My son's running around. It's okay.
Hey, it's real life. Okay, we parents. It is what it is. You might see a naked baby run by. You never know.
Right. I'm naked, but this is the dilemma of everyone. I think anyone watching this understands, you know, because I think most people have their kids at home right now. I know that some are starting to go back, but the hardest thing is keeping them occupied. And the 3 and the 5-year-old, they just have constant energy, and they don't have any concern about me having to work, as they shouldn't. So it's just, everyone understands this.
They need to walk in and ask me for a Pop-Tart. It's only a matter. It's only a matter. So we had Dr. Jill Biden, who had like this teal, turquoise, or aqua suit jacket. Cute, really cute. We had a lot of bold, solid colors, not prints and patterns. I don't even think I saw a woman in gray. Like all the women were wearing these beautiful, solid colors. And it was like, they all looked like royalty. I felt like we were all going to the royal wedding or something, you know? So that was nice to see, but I just felt a sense of pride in general, and some butterflies that I don't normally feel about political things. It's probably because it's, you know, Delaware. But,
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be a combination of Delaware, number one, and then number two, the fact that you have a Black and Indian woman up there, you know, a woman of color who's you know, gone is extremely high. The only higher level that she can attain is actually to be president. And who knows? It's not unlikely at this point that she reaches that point. So, you know, it's really cool. Now, I have to say, and we're gonna, I think, get to this at the bottom line, but you know who my favorite was.
Who?
Bernie.
Oh God, the memes.
Like, I'll in more detail, but like Biden certainly won the election, okay?
Yeah.
But and Michelle and Kamala, they won all of the fashion icon awards.
Yeah.
But the way Bernie kind of stole the show, you know what I'm saying? Him and Amanda Gorman, I feel like they both are the ones who stole the show. Like the poetry, she seemed like, it almost was like we're looking at like a 22-year-old Maya Angelou kind of just beginning to get her wings to really, really fly. You know, that was her huge moment. And Bernie, that's him. Like, there was no pomp and circumstance, no, like, I'm here for business. I'm not here to look pretty. I'm here to do my responsibility as a senator and keep it moving, player. So I just, I love that man.
Again, somebody said he looked like he said, yeah, I'm gonna slide by Joe thing real quick for a couple minutes.
Exactly.
I was dying. That whole meme thing when memes go viral for stuff like oh my goodness, Bernie.
It's amazing how fast people create things. Like
yes. It was
this time I saw so many different versions, and from my end, it's really funny because you actually get to see everyone's different culture with that. Because you had Black people who put him in like Black movies or like things that, you know, Black people don't understand. And then you saw like Star Trek-y people. Like you saw him in every different place. And it was so cool because everyone made that their thing. And for me, it was like, and again, this is coming kind of from my bottom line part tonight, but like everyone could relate to that in their own kind of way, you know? So it was cool.
It was good to watch. I felt, you know, proud. That's really all I can just sum it up to just pride. I'm happy and I'm ready for change. I'm ready for a change.
Yeah.
And right before we go to Desi and our first interview, George Bush is gonna find Michelle. Okay, no matter where they are, he's going to find her. Okay, that is his buddy. That's his bestie, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's really interesting to see how quickly perception can change, and I'm for. I get it. Like, I'm not trying to hold anyone in any place that they don't want to be in. You know what I mean? But it's really interesting to see, like, now Bush is just like this kind of viewed as this silly old fun guy who just likes to be there and have a good time with the Obamas and be hanging out with the cool kids.
And snacks. Has lots of snacks. So yeah, it was good. I'm happy. I'm ready for some change. We're going to now go to Desi with the good news, and then we will be interviewing Officer Morris.
I love it. I love good news.
What's up? It's your girl Desi, and now it's time for the good news. Now listen, this morning I'm giving my Mr. Rogers vibe. I hope that you're feeling it. That was one of my favorite shows back in the day. Listen guys, remember to follow us at DETVCH.com because you may hear your quote. Today's quote is coming from Breezy215 on Instagram, and it says, "Knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens." Once again, knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens. You ever wonder why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth? Yeah, it's because knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens. All right, you guys, listen. You want to hear your quote? Follow DETVCH.com.
Thank you once again, Desi, for the good news. And now we are going to have a nice interview with Officer Morris from Delaware. So number one, thank you for your time. I'm sure you're a very busy man.
No, thank you for having me. Appreciate the opportunity. Always, it's a blessing to have these platforms to speak on. So I thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. So could maybe we just start with, why did you decide to become an officer?
So my path was a little weird at first. I first wanted to be a teacher. I actually got my master's in education. I wanted to be a math teacher at first. So as I'm going along with the with the program, I kind of jumped ship to being a police officer. And once I educated myself on more, what policing is and that type of impact you can make, I definitely wanted to make that jump. And I think it's no lie, in today's world, we see the disconnect between, the community and the policing. So for me and my true love and my true passion for people, I feel as though I had to put myself in position, to make change. I always told myself, I had to humble myself, educate myself, and then put myself in position to make change. So humble myself in the sense of, taking my emotions, taking my feelings out of everything that's going on around the world now, and then educating myself, putting myself through the police academy, understanding the other side, understanding what it feels like to be a police officer, what it feels like in those moments when you're out there patrolling, and truly humbling a lot of thoughts that I had before of policing, that as I went through the academy and now that I am a police officer, it definitely humbled me as a man, and then putting myself in position to make change. If I feel like there needs to be a change between the police and the community, am I going to sit myself, on the sideline and point fingers? Am I going to post? Am I going to tweet about it? You know what I mean? Or am I going to put myself in the game to make change? So that's pretty much the path that I took.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, brother. I appreciate that. That's really nice.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Honestly, this could turn into a 2-hour conversation. I can tell right now.
What you're not gonna do is commandeer this interview, okay? Because I found him, okay? So, number one, I'm super excited because my dad was a cop.
Okay.
He was a county cop, and I grew up knowing, all the police officers in the area, and got to ride in the car. And I just remember having such a positive outlook on, police because of my dad. And I don't want to brag, but he was a good one.
Yeah.
So, it's always been hard for me to have those conversations with people about what's going on in the policing world, and then, the civilian world, because my dad was a part of both, and he's also retired military. So I've been all around, So I follow Officer Norman from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yes.
And I was like, I really like this guy. I've been following him for a year. And I put a post on Instagram. I was like, where is the Delaware version of this? Where is he at? Let me know. And everybody was like, stay real 302. Joshua Morris. And I was like, okay. And I was scrolling on your page, and I was just filled with so much pride, because it was, number one, your family is beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the work that you're doing and the posts that you make, it shines a light on where you are mentally and spiritually.
Yes.
But also how you view Delaware.
Yes.
And I think that is so beautiful.
Absolutely.
Do you happen to do you know who Officer Norman is? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're in community policing, you know who Officer Norman is. He is the GOAT of community. And he's using his brand on social media and his platform to showcase positivity in the way that, the community and police can work one-on-one. His compassion and his love for people, it definitely sets the bar. And I definitely feel like his formula is something that can be the core of policing and change in America.
Wow. So what is your definition of community policing?
So my definition of community policing, I feel as though it's definitely a way to show your love and your compassion for the people that you police. It shows how you can truly embrace them. It shows how you can truly understand them. It also is a great tool to make them feel comfortable around you. You know, you have your own house. You're not comfortable if a stranger comes in your own home. You know what I mean? But if it's your family, it's somebody you spend time with, it's somebody you have conversation with, then obviously you want to feel more comfortable with them. So I feel as though community policing should definitely, for me personally, is the core of my style of policing. And it has helped me so much throughout my career thus far.
Wow. Go ahead, Jay.
You know I got 1,000. So,
I know you do. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So you blatantly stated from the jump when you described yourself, you said that the reason that you got involved with being a policeman, the reason you wanted to become one, is because you saw that there was a problem and you wanted to solve it, which is extremely admirable. Like that, there's no other. That's the best way to solve a problem. So I guess my question is, you know, considering the kind of obvious gap that there is between at least, you know, communities of color and traditional, like, what do you think are the main ways that we can bridge that gap and change the perception and have a good working relationship?
First off, let me backtrack. Let me backtrack to your first statement and to why I got into policing. Yes, like I said, humble myself, educate myself, put myself in position to make change. But I think it's important for people to realize that with me, this is a spiritual walk for me. Like, I feel as though that God ordained me on this path. So yes, I personally wanted to educate myself, put myself in position to make change. But when I started my policing career, I told myself, one, God, I need you to guide my career. I need you, if this is what you have for me, I need you to let it show throughout my career. I need you to be the light to my path. So as I'm walking this path of policing, I feel as though God, for me personally, is leading me along the way. So yes, I chose this career, but I do feel like it was spiritually ordained for me to have this career. And on top of that, as a man, as a wife, as I have a wife, as a husband, as a father, I definitely have to put myself in position to take care of my family. So it didn't matter if it was policing, it didn't matter if it was, you know, education or some other job. I definitely had to position myself where I'm in a position to take care of my family. So along with the spiritual walk, along with the opportunity that policing gives me to take care of my family, that's definitely the core of why I do what I do. Because if I'm out here taking care of the community, but I'm not taking care of my family, that's backwards. Because your home is your first ministry. Your home is your foundation. So me taking care of my family and taking care of my wife and my daughter, that was the number one priority for me. And then to go into your question, you know, why or what needs to be done, there's a million steps, you know, that can be done. First, I feel as though you definitely can have, you know, officers in position, you know, that care for people. So I think a lot of times some people, it's a difference between policing with purpose and just policing, you know, for a check, you know, or you know what I mean? I feel as though if we have people that are in position that, you know, police with purpose, police with compassion, that police with true careness, I feel as though that can definitely make a difference, because it doesn't matter if you're white, Black, Hispanic. If you have a true love and compassion for people, that will always outweigh the negativity, and that will always show your true heart and how you conduct yourself around people. If you feel as though that, and again, for me personally, this is my personal opinion, me being a Christian man and me allowing like the word of God to guide how I act on the street, it doesn't matter, you know, what faith or who you pray to, who you believe in. I'm pretty sure who you believe in doesn't tell you to be a bad person, to be ignorant, to be racist, to not have love and compassion for people. So I feel as though if we act outside of ourselves, because, you know, our flesh is so inconsistent, you know, we happy one day, sad one day, motivated one day, you know, sad the next day, happy one, you know what I mean? So I feel as though that if we definitely operate with true love and compassion, that can truly make a difference in a change.
You got
So, Josh, Officer Morris,
Yeah.
how old are you?
I'm 30. I'm actually about to be 31 on Sunday.
What? Wait a second. Wait, he older than me? What? You know what? I am so proud. I don't know you from Adam. I think you know my sisters because I think like the same crews, all yeah. But I feel so much pride hearing you say these things because there are so many, and Jay, I know Jay can attest to this. There are so many young men in Wilmington who are so lost and so hurt and misguided.
Absolutely.
And just the way you said what you just said, like I actually got a little emotional because I'm like, you don't hear that from young men. You don't hear that. It's very, very rare. So the fact that you not only are, you have that platform, but you're also a police officer with that mentality, know, and it's like, you're right there being able to be around these misguided young men. It's a wow. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm really proud of you.
Yes. And just to piggyback off the previous question, thank you for that. First off, I'm definitely humbled by that, and thank you. But I honestly feel to bridge that gap, for me personally, as an officer, we have to hold ourselves to a high standard that I think it should be on us to bridge that gap. Yes, the community can fix some things in their trust and their understanding, because my personal opinion, I think ignorance is the #1 factor that separates the community and policing. It is the ignorance that the policing don't have on the community, and it's the ignorance that community don't have on policing on why we conduct ourselves a certain way. And it's the ignorance of some police officers, not all, that they don't understand and truly want to embrace the community that they work in. And I feel as though if that ignorance is honed in on and that understanding is built, that's a way to bridge the gap. I use this analogy. I remember my wife and I, back when we were like boyfriend and girlfriend, I remember she was real like timid, like to be around me. We'll text a lot, but then when she'll get around me, she'll be a little, standoffish, a little scared to be around me, scared to like hug up on me now and everything. So I took that as a man and say, hey, it's my job and my duty to make this woman feel comfortable around me, because it's my job as a man to make her feel secure, because security for a woman is important. And once you give her that security, then she'll open up to you. Then she'll give you everything. That security. So I use that analogy with policing. When I'm policing, I feel as though it is my job to make you feel comfortable around me. It is not your job for you to feel comfortable around me. There are times where I pull cars over and there are literally people so scared in the car that they're telling me every single move that they're making. I walk to the car, they got their hands up, and they say, officer, I'm reaching in my glove box. Officer, I'm reaching down here. So I say, wait, you don't have to be like that with me. How about this? To make you feel comfortable, I'll rest my hands on, because there are windows there, I'll rest my hands on your door so you can see my hands there. You can move around your car, everything is safe. You can do what you got to do so you can feel comfortable around me. So that's where I feel as an officer, the standard and the requirement is for me to make the people feel comfortable around me. When they see my car, they shouldn't have fear. They should see safety. They should think security is around. They should think help is around if I need it, not fear. If I make sense.
Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It does.
What do you think? What is the biggest misconception, and what was the one maybe like 3-4 years ago? Before you went into the academy, what changed in your opinion about what policing is versus before you became an officer and now? Like, what's the biggest misconception that's kind of out there and that you maybe?
I would think so. As a police officer, we respond to calls that can sometimes be very gruesome, that can be very dangerous. And I think sometimes the real world don't understand that how dark the world can be. And us all we're responding to that every single day. So just like in the community, you know, a kid may grow up and his experiences may shape how he thinks, how he moves, how he acts. His experience with the police officers may shape how he treats police officers and why he may be standoffish. It's the same thing with police officers. We are human beings like everybody else. When we go to certain calls, we're putting our life on the line every single day, and the things we see and the things we go through and the things we experience, it kind of why we act a certain way. So I know a lot of times, you know, people say, you know, why, man, I'm just one person. Why are 5 cops here? You know, domestic calls and car stops are like the top 2 most dangerous things for a police officer. So
Wow.
because prior to pulling over a car, we don't know who's in that car. We don't know their intentions. We don't know their motives. We don't know anything. So prior to that, we're already calling, you know, for backup. So then when we get there and we see that, you know, it's a beautiful person like, you know, you guys here, you know, you know, and by the time we had that interaction and, you know, I could let my guard down, like, okay, this is, you know, everything is safe. 5 cops are already there. So then the person is like, man, you need 5 cops for me? But it's like, man, you have to understand, I called in this call 5 minutes ago and they were already on their way. So you kind of get what I'm saying? So that's why the misunderstanding can be sometimes. So prior to me being a police officer, I didn't know how deep and how dark and how deep the world can be and some of the evil things and, you know, monsters that are out there and why we have to use precaution before we can let our guard down and be us as humans.
Well, I think so. Let's get to the most important question here, okay?
Down, Jay.
No. If I get a speeding ticket, what do I have to say to get out of it?
Oh my God! No. You work for GMW. You the co-host of GMW.
How do I get out of it? That's my main thing. I drive fast. How do I get out of it?
I want you to say this. Look, Officer Moore, that's my cousin from, you know, my mother's brother's uncle, half sister, nephew side of the family side.
That's my brother, Officer Morris. You don't know him? You need to go follow him on the gram. Like, well, I am so thankful. I wanted to get into your family because you have a beautiful family. And are you expecting a new baby?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Please send our love to your wife and your baby girl and the baby to be. I'm so thankful to have had you on today, and I would love to continue the conversation. I'd love for us to meet in person and maybe do a ride along with you.
Absolutely.
To get a day in the life, you know, of Officer Morris, to just continue to show people what compassionate policing can be.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much, and we're praying for you and your safety and your family safety and a safe birth.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, we need more good brothers like you doing that work. So thank you, sir.
Absolutely. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. And thank you again for allowing me to use this platform to, you know, extend, you know, good policing, because all police officers aren't bad. You know, the enemy is definitely the master of deception and division. And he uses media so strongly to drive that division home, whatever. So I appreciate you for allowing me to use your platform to, you know, to soften things up, to let everybody know that all police officers aren't bad.
Everyone needs help at some point in life. My name is Rosie Tooley, and I have created Lessy, which gives entrepreneurs the help and support they need to develop their skill and business background.
The people who are a part of this are very excited. They buy into the vision of it.
I have met people who have had everything stripped from their lives. These are unique, creative, and powerful people, and my goal is to give them the opportunity to reveal those qualities.
It takes a village to raise a community, and Delaware is part of my community, and they're a part of this community, because what I'm doing here with financial peace could not have been done without their one's contribution.
Now we have elite Miss Delaware Earth, Malika Yates. I am so excited because once upon a time I was a pageant girl, so it's always nice to talk to another fellow pageant queen. Hello.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here today.
Yes, first of all, let's get into the look, honey, because she put her camera on and she was like, I'm here, elite Miss Delaware Earth right here for you.
Yes, thank you. Believe it or not, I do not know how to do my own hair and makeup because I used to be a tomboy in my former life. So my mom and I, we always try to figure it out. But since I'm self-quarantining after nationals, it was all on me today. And I was like, well, please just let this work out today.
It worked, girl. It worked. You look great. And that crown is sparkling. Okay, you icy.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's get into your background. What made you step into the pageant world?
Well, I am part Cherokee Indian, and after my dad passed away, my mom and I bonded over her showing me our Native American ways. So taking care of the environment and teaching others how to protect and preserve our Mother Earth has always been a part of my foundation and really near and dear to my heart. And I wanted to do pageantry. Growing up in the suburbs and then moving to an underserved community, I was told women that look like us aren't crowned. And I was like, well, that's impossible because my dad told me I could be anything I wanted to be. And my name means queen. So I wasn't going to let someone tell me what I can and can't do. Even though I was shy, I was like, I'm going to do this. And I gave it a try a few times. It did not necessarily lead to me having a state title. But when I saw that Laura Clark, who is a former pro cheerleader, I was like, okay, she's the director of the Earth System. I know I can trust her. Like, I'll be in good hands. I'm going to give it another try. And I did last year, and I received my appointed title as Elite Miss Delaware 2019. I had such an amazing experience. I placed in the top 5, zero pageant experience. Top 15 last year, zero pageant experience. And I was like, okay. It helped me with my confidence. It helped me just grow into the woman I am today, find like my voice in the world, and just learn how to properly speak to people who might be climate deniers. And so just learning how to navigate those conversations, creating my own law, and working on getting the Paris Agreement passed on a local level here in the state of Delaware. I was like, well, let me give this a try again for 2020. Again, received my state title, and I placed top 5 at nationals. And I was like, wait a minute, world, wait a minute. Hold up.
Oh my gosh. I love you. Like I can already feel the energy, sis. Like it's there. Like winning is a no-brainer. Like it's gonna happen. I absolutely love that you mentioned that you felt confident, because I think the biggest misconception that people have about pageants is that it's all about the looks and it's all about being sexy and the glitz and glam. And although the glitz and the glam and the looks is a part of it, the biggest portion for me when I started pageants at 17 was the confidence. I had to step into a different side of myself that I hadn't explored yet to be able to step in front of people and say, my name is Nadj Pennington, and I am, and I will be. It's just, it was really sad, the feedback I got back in those days, that, what are you doing? Like, why are you parading yourself? And it was like, no, I have a platform. I want to help, animals, and I want to work at a shelter, and I want, people to know more about HIV/AIDS. And if this is the way I can do it, then I'm going to do it. And I learned so much about myself and where I wanted to go. I learned so much about professionalism and, women of color in the industry, whether it's the corporate industry or the artistic industry or entertainment industry. it really opened up a new world for me. So to hear you say that really validates what I was thinking, you know, when I went into pageantry. And when you said that women that look like us don't get crowns, honey, okay. Okay. I remember I did 3 pageants, and the one of them was the Miss Delaware. And I can't remember which version because I know there's so many of them. It was one of them, and I was the only woman of color in the top 5. And I remember my mom was like, that was an accomplishment in itself.
Yes.
Representation matters.
Yes. Yes. And as a diverse role model, I mix with so many things, and I feel like I just bring a unique perspective to representation because we need more female leaders. Yes. We need to empower each other. Like, it's not like you or me. At nationals, I wasn't worried about taking home the crown because I knew that I was worthy, that I was capable, and that I did everything I possibly could before I hit that stage. And as a professional model, you know, semi-pro cheerleader, was training to be pro cheerleader before I got injured. Like, I just knew that I was going to work that runway. So I wasn't focused on, oh my gosh, I can't help you. I took like a bobby pin out of my hair because my sister Queen was taking a photo and her ponytail was falling. So my hair was like sticking up like this, and like her hair was flawless. And when we took photos, I was like, oh, I forgot to get it back because no one told me my hair was sticking up like this. So if y'all see that on the social, that's what happened. No judgment, please. Like, I just, you know, I was making lifelong friends and connecting with my sister queens. And because of that, I now have like a strong network of strong female leaders behind me. I just feel truly, truly blessed. And, you know, I started my global environmental nonprofit during this pandemic and was able to hand out over 3,000 eco-friendly COVID kits. And it's all because of this platform. Being a part of the Miss Earth USA organization just changed my life greatly, and I am forever grateful for this opportunity and sisterhood.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Have you won Miss Congeniality yet? Because
I did. I was like, every time someone needed food, I'm like, girl, I'm vegan. I got you. What you need? I got them snacks.
I got some trail mix. I got, what you want, grapes? Oh, I love it. So where do you see yourself in the coming years, in the next 5 years?
Okay, so I see myself as Elite Miss Earth 2022, traveling globally, teaching students and communities how to live an eco-friendly, healthy, and sustainable lifestyle filled with kindness, having my global nonprofit and the Miss Earth USA organization reach about 45 countries, over 3,000 students, my book being on the New York Times #1 bestseller, my curriculum being in schools around the world, my environmental law making and bridging the gap, creating equal environmental education for all around the world. And hopefully, husband, if you're out there and you're seeing this, I'm ready. It's about time. Size 5 princess cut. Call me.
Oh, you know what, girl? Listen, I'm gonna email you my number because that's it. Like, we got to go out because this is too perfect. I love it. I'm so thankful that you were able to join me today. I definitely want to continue the conversation and talk more about what you have coming up. And I want to see you blossom, continuing to blossom. And you have my full support. Thank you from DETV and the GMW crew. This was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.
We're going to be interviewing Darnell Miller next, so stay tuned.
Welcome back, everybody, and I couldn't be more excited about this next segment. We are going to have on Darnell Miller, and Darnell Miller is, in my mind, one of our town's treasures. He's one of our state's treasures. He's a singer-songwriter, He's an educator and just an all-around great guy. He's just one of those people, when you're around him, he just always puts out positive vibes. You know, if you meet Darnell, you're gonna love him just across the board. So welcome, Darnell.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Welcome.
I'm glad to be here today.
We are glad to have you. So let's just kind of get right. I think everyone knows you, you know what I mean? So we don't have to go into all those details
Something
right
like
now.
that.
But tell us about the single, what it's about, and tell us as much about that as you can.
Well, the single is about just moving forward. It's about making decisions. It's about, putting everything behind you and moving forward, not looking back. It came out of nowhere. I was just kind of goofing off with my guitar in my hand, and then I just started singing some words, and 20 minutes later, I actually had a song. But it was a song that meant something, and it meant something to me personally, because I've been going through a lot of just making choices for myself and choosing not to go back to what, the way I was before. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, But sometimes we always say, oh, it's going to be different this time. But when you get to that place where this time it's really different and you can't explain it, it's not like it was before. I'm moving forward. That's what the song is really about.
Can you go into any detail about what things have changed, like how you're going forward and which way?
Well, I will say that 2020, was a year of victory for me. A lot of people say, oh, this was the worst year, but this was such a year of victory. It started with a trip to the ER. But before that, there was a voice inside me 3 times that said, you know what, you should start walking. And I was like, yeah, I'll get around to it. After that 3rd time, I was like, yeah, I'll get to it. But after that 3rd time, I ended up in the ER with something that none of the doctors could explain. They couldn't explain. We don't know why you're here. We don't know why you're here. But I know something happened in my body. They ran every test twice, 3 times, 4 times. They were like, well, everything looks okay. But I knew it was it was like the universe saying, listen, this is where you could be if you don't make a change. And so since that day, I would get up at 5, 6 in the morning, which is totally unlike me, and walk. And when I first started, I couldn't even do a half a mile. And within a few months' time, the more I just kept going, I ended up doing 5 miles a day.
Wow.
Nadj, I got 20 questions. You got anything?
Oh, I know. Hold on. I got to get right when I'm interviewing Darnell Miller. My cool on. My cool. So Darnell.
Go ahead.
What would you say is the genre that most fits your style?
Oh, God. I've been wrestling with this for a few months now. I would probably say just singer-songwriter, because I just love to write. It could be a rock song. It could be a metal song. It could be a country song. I just did a song in Portuguese, half Portuguese. It could be, I just like to write. So I would say singer or songwriter.
I don't know if everyone watching knows who you are, but Darnell is one of my favorite artists because he has had his dance with fame, his dance with notoriety, and the one thing that I respect so much about you is the fact that you are an artist through and through, because you don't do things for money. Like what you said a minute ago, you can't sing about, my dad used to say the same thing. You can't sing about what you don't know about. You can't sing, I was sick in my body and I was on my deathbed, but you've never been there. Yeah. But there are people who will do what they need, who will do those things, who sing those things because they need the money. But knowing you, I have only ever known you to do what's from in here.
Oh, wow.
And I'm that type of artist. I can't stand to do things just for the money, Yes.
If it's not me, or if I don't, I just can't do it. Naturally, my body reacts no, don't do that. Or I instantly rebel, which I've done a few times. I've walked away from a couple of things and people are like, why? Because it's not who I am.
Well, listen, I have babies to feed, so I just finished a new song called drop it low. I like to drop it like it's because I feel like if I twerk, that it will make some money.
It won't. It won't. If you twerk, it won't.
Money. I think if you do it, it won't make any money.
All right. Well, maybe I'll go back to the drawing board. Can I ask one question about the song? So at what point in the year did you start writing it? You said it just kind of came out of nowhere, and I love when that happens. Like, when did you start writing it?
This is actually funny, and I've been trying to like teach myself not to do this as much. I actually wrote it like the last week or 2 weeks before January.
Wow.
And then I was like, oh well, but sometimes when you write, things kind of take on their own life. So I wrote it, and I was like, okay, well, let me see what it sounds like if I just do like a little demo, But then the demo turned into a 3-day session of not really, sleeping, and just ended up playing everything on it myself, ended up mixing it myself, ended up everything myself. I don't know how,
Wow.
but that's how it ended. And I did call in a bass player because it was like I just felt like I wasn't giving it what it was supposed to happen. I mean, I don't know. I was pushed. Something was pushing me to finish it, and I was like, you got to release this on New Year's Day. You have to release this on New Year's Day, because for many people that's symbolic of starting over or moving forward or making resolutions, and I think, I'm not a person that makes a resolution, but I think if I were to make a resolution, this would be it. You know what? Whatever happened, but I'm making the choice to move forward, and and I feel so much better. I've been saying this for a couple weeks. I've gained so much to go back. You know what I mean? I've gained too much, to go back. It's amazing. It's like you lose, but you gain. I can't explain it. You lose, but you gain. It's a great trade. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I completely understand.
I think anyone who has experienced it knows it. So,
yeah.
You ready to give us a song?
I'm going to try.
You can do it. Let me put my glasses on. Hold up.
Let me take my glasses off and close my eyes and listen.
Oh my goodness. All right. This is Forget What You Heard. If anyone tries to bring your past up against you, tell them, man, forget what you heard. All right? I'll never go back to the way things were. Yesterday's gone. Forget what you heard. I'll never go back to the way things were. Yesterday's gone. Forget what you heard. Not the same. Something's changed. I see things differently, and now I'm willing to walk away. Say bye-bye. Things are much better here in my new life. I have new life. I'll never go back to the way things were. Oh. Yesterday's gone. Forget what you heard. I'll never go back to the way things were. Yesterday's gone. Forget what you heard. I'm not the same.
you so much to Officer Morris, to Malika Yates, and to Darnell Miller for joining us today. It has been a wonderful Zoom show because we were kind of worried. Well, maybe Jay wasn't, but I was. I'm always worried about Jay. So.
And I appreciate that. It's definitely been an interesting way to do things. It's like, it's kind of cool, like I said earlier, because I get to show my feet and not wear shoes and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, to me, it makes the point that it's really important that people communicate face to face. We can use this kind of stuff in a pinch, but let's not get used to communicating this way. We got to be face to face and interact once this whole thing is over with.
Stay tuned for Wednesday's show. We're going to be back live in the stew, okay, with more shenanigans. I got to go. Love y'all, but I can't take no more of him. Okay, bye.